conflating power dynamic
with leverage.
with just toxic relationship?
No, I think I was using toxic as a blanket term, but looking back on it now, I would say that I think it is very common for relationships to have a power imbalance. I don't know if anyone disagrees with that. They can, of course, interject. But when you say power dynamic, what you say it's very common. You're in college. Yes.
So even your girlfriends who are in college, who are dating college guys, they're encountering power dynamics.
Well, like you were talking about with SA earlier, SA does function on a power imbalance. You're holding physical power over someone else.
So these women are getting essayed by their boyfriends?
Yes. Sometimes that does happen. Crazy idea.
Sure, but I mean...
So why did you bring it up in the context of age? Because being physically more... Well, so being physically dominant in a relationship between a man and a woman, the man is 99.999% of the time going to be stronger, more powerful, able to dominate their woman. So why did this come in the context of Tobey Maguire being 49 and his girlfriend being 20?
Well, because
is that only an age gap?
I think it depends on the situation. It's not only an age gap, but if you asked me what I thought on the situation, I would just want to ensure that his girlfriend was okay and that it wasn't an uncomfortable situation, that she felt safe. That's all I'm saying.
But why does him being 49 and her being, would you say 21, have to do with her being okay? Why wouldn't she be okay? What if she actually liked him?
Well, that is an instance, and I think that's totally a possibility. I'm not discounting that. I'm just saying that I'm trying to rule out that possibility.
I don't know, is it a G word, the thing you can say, like grooming?
Yeah, that's kind of what you just referenced is what I'm...
Meet Norman. He's part Chihuahua.
To do with the age. Like, terrible men are going to be terrible men, regardless if they're 12 years old or if they're 50.
I don't even think this plays into a power dynamic
really
either.
doesn't.
This is like, I mean, that's criminal behavior.
Yeah.
That goes beyond just power dynamic.
Really? Yeah, that's not...
So I'm just confused.
And there are normal human beings that an age difference, they have met somebody and they've found a genuine connection. It has nothing to do with anything. So criminalizing that, it's obviously they have really nothing in common at that point, but it's really like, it doesn't mean he's like grooming her to be somebody. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he automatically...
Extremely easy for women to take advantage of a man's resources. All they have to do is get some kind of legal precedent to where they can divorce, get half of their stuff, start getting a bunch of their income, and they have to do nothing for the rest of their life. And especially in Tobey Maguire's case, that's a serious possibility. So I'm hoping, I assume Tobey Maguire's a mature dude. He's 49 years old, seems like a mature guy, knows what he's doing, has identified this girl as someone who's going to be a good partner, loves him for being him, best Spider-Man. And I'm hoping she does the same thing. It seems like, I know nothing about their situation, but I would hope that they're in a good relationship.
Yeah, I agree with your points, yeah.
Okay.
All right, your reaction to the Tobey Maguire thing?
I think most women in their early 20s have no idea left, right, up, down, and Tobey Maguire being 49 is being completely inappropriate dating a 20-year-old, 21-year-old.
Why?
Because he's mature. He's been around the planet. He's, understands relationship dynamics. I think that women that young should be dating much closer to their own age. And to your point about resources and things like that, the thing she's probably looking at is status. She's looking at a high status man with money, with fame, things like that. So those are the things she's attaching herself to. But in terms of, being a woman of high value, going after those things alone is low value behavior. And it's his responsibility, being the older, more mature person, to date within the maturity level that he's at, not a very vulnerable young woman who is definitely going to be taken advantage of in other ways in terms of her body and her time and her energy, and she's going to be like falling in love with this guy when the chances of them actually working out are going to be pretty slim to none.
Erroneous! Erroneous!
There's a lot of buzzwords here. Vulnerable.
Yeah.
She's vulnerable.
Yeah.
He's going to take advantage of her body. Wouldn't that just apply equally back to Toby? She would be taking advantage of his body.
I know. I fully agree that it's an inappropriate match there, just age-wise.
No. But that, I think, taking advantage of somebody typically, doesn't that only go one way?
No.
Or are you saying it goes both ways?
I think it can go both ways, absolutely. But you'd have to evaluate their personalities, what their actual intent is, and all of that. But based on observation, all we got here was a storyline, right? That's all we got, and we got their age.
Yeah,
that's all
dating.
we know.
Yeah,
Correct.
49, 20.
Yep, that's all we got. And so I just am saying that based on traditional, not traditional, but the majority of relationships out there that are like that, the young girls are going after money, fame, status, et cetera. That's taking advantage of him, right?
Okay.
Yep. And then likewise, he's going for the really young, vulnerable, easy, docile personality with a lot of life to go still. That's equal. Yeah.
What do you mean by vulnerable?
When you're young, when you're a teenager, when you're in your early 20s, this is both for men and women, you're a sponge. And that's a vulnerable place to be, where you're not operating from an educated, experienced position. They're vulnerable in terms of they're easily swayed, they're easily suggestible. So that's what I mean by vulnerable. They're a sponge.
So do you think
they definitely shouldn't be joining the military at that age.
I mean, I joined at 17, but that's
I know, but you definitely shouldn't have, because you're a sponge and you're easily suggestible,
Andrew,
and you
that's
don't have any autonomy. And
different.
You're just kind of a fool, right?
No, that's
you must
completely
be.
different. You're someone going in the military.
Why is it completely different?
I'll tell you. So when you go into the military, like I did at 17, you're going into a safe. When I mean safe,
he
I
can
mean
be safe.
It's structured.
She should
There's
bet him
laws and
properly.
rules
He
and
should be
regulations in
safe.
place.
Because there's not laws and rules and regulations in place for relationships and for marriage.
He
even
should
though
be
there
safe.
is, right?
Women don't pick
you can't
good
just
men.
randomly essay women, right? Even if you're in a relationship, there's still laws in place, even if you're not in the military, right?
I don't know why you're getting so heated, Andrew.
Well, I want an answer to the question.
There's the tone policing already. Just engage.
I want to know why you think it's okay to be, when you say sponge, right? Oh, they're just a sponge. They have so much life left to live.
I'm watching
I guess
whatever
I'm just
podcast.
what is your point?
Hang on, let me finish, and then I'll
what's your
turn it
point?
over to you. Okay, hang on.
You're not listening to the point? It's whatever podcast, red pill content. It's a red pill channel over here. So, but how's it going, man?
Of course, they should be joining the military because they're easily suggestible. They're like sponges. They could be easily influenced into doing things they ordinarily wouldn't do. The SA rate for women in the military is sky high. Seems like it's a little bit of a contradiction there, right?
No, I disagree, because they're two completely separate topics. The question was, do I think that that massive of an age gap is an issue? And my answer, in my opinion, is yes. I think it's an issue.
They're talking about, old Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire. He's 49 years old, and he has like a 20-year-old girlfriend. That's what they're talking about right now. Is it right for a guy like 49 years old to be dating like a 20-year-old?
Who's probably going to be much older than you are, right?
That's so different, Andrew. One is a teacher.
Why is it different? You're suggestible, which means you can't make good decisions. Because you're a sponge, you're always absorbing the things that are around you. This is your logic, the entailment of your logic.
We can give each other the space to talk, but you cut me off first.
I just let you go.
You cut me off first. You cut me off first.
You were done
I was in
talking.
the middle of giving my answer, and you cut me off first.
Hey, I'm done talking, and now you can't talk.
Andrew, we've done this before together. I will, but once I finish my point.
Stop talking. Let me finish.
Andrew, I'm not going to take that from you or anybody.
I'm not going to take it. I'll get up and leave right now, right this second.
I'm not going to do this with you, Andrew.
Are you
I'm not going to do this.
Discourse like adults, or what? You can't finish talking, and then when I start talking,
I just have to come in and pick one of you to finish your
fine.
things. Andrew gets to finish.
That's
Go ahead,
fine.
Andrew.
Okay, so anyway, your line of logic would still apply to other situations. If women are easily suggestible, they're just young sponges, they're just absorbing the things around them, you say these are two different situations. As though I'm talking about them like they're the same situation. The logical entailment, though,
They're talking about Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, the OG Spider-Man. he's like 49 years old. He's dating a 20-year-old, and it's like people are like mad at him. You know.
Are very suggestible, impressionable. They're sponges. That's what I said. So I wasn't specifically talking about women. We were not talking about the military. And the difference that I was trying to articulate was that if there's a 20-year age gap between myself, as an example, and a staff sergeant that's in charge of my platoon, his job is to train me, is to educate me, is to lead me, is to build me into being a soldier. That is not the dynamic of the particular male that we're talking about. Tobey Maguire's job is not to teach a 20-year-old
a male
how
should.
to be
Everything
an
she
adult and a
said
woman
sounds
and
like
to
exactly what a male
know
should be
her
doing for
rights
his
and
girl.
to know her boundaries and her limits and what she likes and
Everything
doesn't
she
like.
said
That's
is
not
what a
just
man
my
should be
job.
doing for his
Sergeant's
girl.
job either to teach you how to be a woman.
They're two completely different topics.
In terms of leading,
That's your
guiding.
logic. It's your logical application. Staff sergeant's job not to teach you how to be a woman either.
Yo, these women are,
okay.
like,
When you're talking about a
ruined, bro.
power imbalance,
They're
if you're saying that
mentally,
people are
like,
so young and impressionable,
fried.
they can't make the decision of who they date based on an age
Mentally-
gap.
they're mentally
which
fried,
is
bro.
absurd. This logic should still apply to the situations that they can engage in, which is contractual. For instance, signing a 4-year contract
This is
for your
crazy,
life,
bro.
right? That you then hand over to the government. If you're incapable of determining who you can or can't date, why in the world would I think that you could determine whether or not you signed your life over to the U.S. government?
So hold on, again, two completely different topics. I did
Yo,
not
how's
say a
everyone
staff
doing in
sergeant
here
was going to
tonight?
teach me how to be a woman. A staff sergeant would be teaching me how to be a soldier, just to clarify.
That's right.
And in terms of the topic of, them joining the military, et cetera, again, we're not talking about that. We're talking about whether I personally, the question was whether I personally find issue with a 20-year plus age gap. I personally find an issue with it. I don't think it should be illegal. Should the woman be able to decide to do that, or a man could be reversed? Absolutely, it's their choice. It's their business. I'm just saying the question was, do I have an
know
issue
that
with
you
it?
have an issue
And I'm
with
saying
it.
I have an
And
issue
what
with
I'm-
it.
So
Nice,
then
CJ.
here's what I'm doing.
What do you think
I'm
about this
doing,
topic?
Right, and I'm going to use my best HR.
I'm sure
tools.
most guys
What I'm doing
want to
is I'm
hot
taking
young
your
girls, so
applied
most guys
logic
probably don't
that
care.
you apply in this situation, and also equally applying it to other situations to see if it's consistent. It's called an analogy, right? So in this analogy,
Completely
if
different
you have a
scenarios.
personal problem with age gap relationships based on the fact that there's power dynamics and that the woman can be super suggestible to this 40.
Well, older women are going to be against it because they're mad because they hit the wall. Look at her. She is way beyond her prime. Of course, she's not going to want to agree with it.
Choices. Why is it that she's capable of those? You have no problem, but you have a problem in the instance of her picking
She's
her
done.
partner.
She ain't falling off. She's like she's a skeleton
Again,
falling
these are two
apart.
completely different scenarios.
The surgery,
You can keep
the surgery ain't hanging. The surgery ain't holding up. The wrinkles and everything are showing. She's done, bro.
argument.
I'm not going to keep arguing with you. I'm not going to. So we disagree. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
know
need
you
you to
disagree.
agree with it. I don't need you
know.
to find logic in it. That's just my opinion.
There is no logic.
So I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, but I'm not really ready to move on. I'd really
You
like
can
you
keep
to answer
going.
to this
You can
because I
keep
don't
going, but
understand
you're
the
going to be all
logic.
by yourself.
Exactly. You heard him. There is no logic. You don't understand the logic either.
Yeah,
There is
you
none.
tell that mean guy who wants logical consistency.
No, I love
Tell
you,
him.
Andrew.
I don't
want-
think he's
Sure.
mean. I just think it's two completely different scenarios.
I want to hear some logic too.
Well, are apples the same as oranges?
I'm moving on, Andrew.
Are apples the same as oranges? Can you answer any basic questions? Is up the opposite of down? No, just nothing. We're just not going to answer any questions at all. What we'll do is we'll just take positions that never defend them. I'm not going to do that.
I'm not
That's-
here to debate you, Andrew. We've
new
been through this before.
The new
What are
prop,
you here to
the new
do?
prop girl can
I'm
get
here
it.
for the dating conversation. I'm not here for you.
This is a conversation
I'm not
about
here for
dating.
you.
We're talking
Hey,
about specifically
he
a
is part
person
of
who's
the
dating
show.
someone who's far older.
All right, what's
and
up,
I'm
Dougie?
testing
Let me
the
hit this
logical
for you,
consistency
bro.
of your position.
But I don't need you to decide whether my logic.
They over here talking about Tobey Maguire's old Spider-Man. He's 49 years old with a 20-year-old girl, and the internet's mad. And they over here talking about it. You know, women are salty, bro. You know they age like milk, and they fall off fast. So they mad that a man could be 49 and have value and still get a 20-year-old if he's worked on himself. They don't like that, bro. Because a 49-year-old woman is toast. So she's over here fighting for the... She's fighting for them
Okay.
right now.
I mean, if you don't want to engage, you don't have to engage.
Yeah,
but it's just,
I'm in
you
my
know,
heeled
you-
girl.
Yeah, all yappers, exactly. Yeah, what's up, Face Mob? Salute to you, bro. How you doing tonight? Once again, this is about Tobey Maguire, old Spider-Man, the OG Spider-Man. That like mid 2000s. He's 49 years old. He's with a 20-year-old woman, Asian girl, lady, and people are mad. The internet is mad about that.
Not. I said no, right? I don't think it's appropriate. And
Right.
you tried to bring in logic about someone joining the military, which is a completely different, like not even in the same universe topic-wise.
No, because there's protection in both.
Do you realize that
the man
if you bring
protects
up a
her.
hypothetical, for instance,
The military
that
protects
it's not
her.
going to map on to reality or the situation exactly, but you can still test the logic of a person to see
You
if they're
would
consistent.
need to.
Hang on.
Okay, all right, go
Just
ahead.
let you
Go
let you
ahead.
finish.
Go ahead.
So
Women
all
talk
I'm
too
trying
much,
to do
man.
is this. I get that you have a problem with an age
Fans
gap,
need to mind
right?
their own business.
What I'm trying to
What do
determine
you mean
is
by that, Dougie?
why. And if you have that problem, in this instance, I would assume that in an instance which was similar, where these same traits are applied, you'd have the same problem. Makes sense to me.
So again, I'll just
What's
recap it
wrong
one more time for you
that
why it's
she's
totally
not
different,
a
why the
minor?
logic cannot be applied to
Exactly.
the same
She's a
scenario.
grown woman. They just
Because
mad.
I'm talking about a young girl or boy, it doesn't matter what gender, going into a scenario where they don't even know they're left from right, they're up from down, they're brand new into being out of high school,
She's a
they're
grown
just
woman.
entering the world, etc. For a 49-year-old man or woman to come and pluck one of those two people up,
Pluck.
you would. My first question
You
is
hear the
why do you
worst
have an
that
interest
women
in someone
use?
that young? Like,
Women are
like
awful,
where
bro.
is that coming from?
Because they
Right?
want to bang them.
I want a young girl.
They think
Okay.
they're hot.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
What do you mean?
18, 19, 20.
And
oh,
if,
yeah.
if it's consensual, have fun.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm just saying, I personally find that disturbing. I don't think that's appropriate. Now, you want to
Why?
switch
What's inappropriate
Yeah,
about it?
why is it disturbing?
because I think the
Oh, yeah, Dougie, I agree.
49-year-old.
Face
like
mob,
if,
this
it,
is
if
crazy.
you guys
You
are
hear
just
this,
trying
right?
to hook up, go for it, have fun, whatever. But I think once you start like in this scenario, because the question going back to what the actual question was, which is, do I think Tobey Maguire and this 21-year-old girl, do I have, like, what's my opinion on that? I'm telling you, I have an opinion of that that isn't agreeing with that dynamic.
What's y'all's opinion on
because
it?
that
49-year-old man with a 20-year-old woman. Do y'all think there's anything wrong with that? I personally don't.
there's all of these different scenarios that they're going to be faced with, and they're so young, they don't even understand what that means. Now they're going to be painted as, dating someone who could be their father,
The stream? I started streaming like 10 minutes ago.
Well, then the same logic would apply the other way.
No, it's
They're joining-
completely different.
Yeah, hang on. Is it my turn?
Okay,
I
go
could've
ahead.
sworn it was.
I think we need a safe word,
So
Andrew.
I could swear that the logic would apply the exact same here. They're young and impressionable. They don't know, as you say, they're left from their right.
He said
Right?
not
They're
at
just
all.
plucked up. They're offered a bunch of incentives to do X thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are true. Why is it that this woman, in this case, not even a hypothetical woman, why is it that they're incapable of judging whether or not they can date somebody with a significant age gap, but somehow are capable
that
of
wasn't an
deciding
argument I
whether or
had.
not, hang on, let me finish.
Talk to
But somehow they're capable of deciding whether or not they could sign a contract for 4 years of their life, entering into a situation they also have zero experience in.
Completely different. First of all, I did not say, you're adding in things I didn't say. So I did not say they're
Exactly.
Which thing?
incapable of deciding whether they want to be in the relationship. I already
Yeah, so the internet is up in grabs over this, man. Oh, he's like, basically like, oh, he's like, y'all know basically what they're trying to say. Oh, he's like trying to be a predator and all this shit. It's crazy how we're predators because we want an 18, 19, 20-year-old. We're predators, bro. Those are grown women, bro.
Investigate the worldview.
Sure. So I'm speaking from experience because I was once a young 20.
And I be hearing girls tell me that. They'll be grown and they'll tell me I'm a child. I'm like, bitch, you're not a child. Y'all need to stop saying that stupid shit, man. They'll literally say that. Oh, I'm just a child. And they're like 20 years old. You're not a child.
I was uneducated,
Said nobody
about
wants
the
to use
person.
car.
I didn't even know.
Exactly. And by the time they're 30, they're a super used car. So that's why I'm trying to go 18. Shit. I'm down there, 18, 19, because it's just like the fresher the better, man. And there's a lower chance of them being obese.
Career. It is guided by instruction and education and purpose and mission and all of these things. It has nothing to do with that person on the romantic level. There's a difference between the military putting you in boots and someone trying to fuck you. There's a big
Really?
difference.
Because the last time I
Yes.
checked, the power imbalance which exists inside of the military is such that the SA rates for women are sky high due to this power imbalance, usually from male officers who have a significant age gap. far more likely to be SA'd in that than you are in an age gap relationship.
I don't agree with
since
that.
You're drawing,
Dried mango?
how can you disagree?
Why don't
mango
you like
slices?
a woman in the
Disagreement.
military?
Would you like the stats?
Well, first of all, I want to know where you got the stats because a lot of
Bruh, she is brain rotted, man.
Second, I've
Well-
been in the military. Second, I've been through an SA case, etc. So I know a lot about SA in the military, and I promise you it's a very small number. It's a very small number of the military. And now, in terms of like,
Hey, wait, hang on.
No, I'm not done. And in terms
Well,
of like, if we're
the question
comparing,
wasn't whether or not
I'm
a
not
lot of women
done.
get SA'd
I'm
in the
not
military.
done. I'm not done. If we're comparing rates of people who get SA'd outside of the military, it's a much higher number. So I want to be really careful that we're not conflating the rates of SA between the military and.
More men get SA than women, honestly.
I was gonna clarify it, and I'll clarify it right now. We're comparing the rates of SA in an age gap relationship versus the rates of SA if you're inside of the U.S. military as a female.
It's about to say she should stop talking immediately. Bro, her brain's gone, bro.
Because they apply to your power imbalance. Your whole argument is about a power imbalance.
First of all, I
Like
don't
George
have an
Explorer.
So
argument.
if you're a woman who can sign on to
Her
a power
surgery's
imbalance
fucked.
in the military,
Surgery falling
then you're
apart,
actually
bro.
more likely to be SA'd going into the military than you are to be in an age gap relationship, which is true, then I don't understand the argument of the power imbalance. That's what I don't get.
So, okay, first of all, I don't have an argument. This was just my opinion, just to be clear.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to that. The question was, do I agree or disagree with it? I don't agree with it.
This
I don't
kinda
need to
Dora the
prove my
Explorer.
point
She
to you,
was
and I
white.
would really love to move on.
Well, I have a couple questions. So I guess perhaps what Andrew's trying to get at. So your issue with age gap relationship is the potential for harm. Is that one of the
arguing for 10
issues?
seconds.
Right? There's a
Harm-
potential for
she's
harm.
been arguing for
to the
minutes.
woman.
It's been like 10
me,
minutes.
Like, I think there's a lot of successful
The whole stream
relationships
so
with that
far,
big of an
basically.
age gap. So it's not that. It's not. I'm not like looking
Well, then
out
why
for.
else would you? I mean, if there's no potential for harm,
Ooh, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
why else, I guess, object to it if there's no potential for harm? Your grievance with it seems to be the potential for harm to the woman.
No, I just think that I'm more focused on the older person's reasoning for why they're seeking someone so significantly
so make
much
an
younger.
argument for why a man who's 40
Bruh,
ought to date
I don't know. You said,
30-year-old
does she have a
compared to
brain or a
20-year-old.
sock or
Like,
popcorn?
What's in it for him?
None.
They're much closer in age. Like, so 10 years is appropriate to me. I would say that's like the max.
No. Make a
The girl that was just right next to her was just as bad. She's just the only one that's talking right now. I think they're all bad.
Make an argument as to why men.
Oh, and the other girl that's in the middle over here, she's awful too. She's just not talking right now. There's a couple rocks up there.
End goal is that they're looking for successful
Yeah.
long-term marriage, relationship, family, kids,
She's just
whatever.
willing to be the
You
top
would prefer
rock
to date a
right
35-year-old
now.
over a 25-year-old because the 35-year-old has a lot more life experience. They're
More
very
bodies.
We don't want a
That's not what I
35-year-old.
mean at all.
But well, when you say more life experience, more trauma, more
No,
baggage,
that's not what I mean at all.
more sexual
That's
partners.
what
now you're adding in
well,
things I didn't
that's,
say.
I mean,
That's what we-
life
that's what we
experience,
assume.
You
That's
mean,
not what I said.
you mean
That's not what I said.
right? But I mean,
No, you're adding in things I did not say.
right? But so okay. Go ahead. Continue with your point.
Yeah. So I'm talking about life experience, as in contrast, is in what they want and what they don't want. And I'm talking about jobs, career, where they want to live.
Okay, career.
Who they want to
Yeah.
hang out with, who they want to associate with, their ideology, their religion,
Okay.
whether they're spiritual or not. Like there's a lot of contrasting
Yeah.
moments. And which, by the way, I'm not at all talking about anything to do with relationships. I'm specifically talking about maturity in life. Maybe they've gone to college. There's a lot of different things that will help shape the woman and the person that they're going to become.
Okay,
Is
so
that
there's
nobody shamed
a
women?
couple things here. So you
For
mentioned
when
life
older men,
experience.
exactly, bro.
Do you think a woman's life experience?
Man, feminism is just out of control, bro. I'm tired of this shit, man. They gotta go, man.
To be honest.
It's like we can't have no type of standards. We can't go for a young girl. It's like we can't do nothing, man. Fuck them, bro.
Include both positive life experiences and negative life experiences.
For some people, I think conversations that I've had with extremely high quality men, I think they would care if you've had some contrast in your life so you can learn and grow and yeah.
And how did you come to the conclusion that high quality men care about females' life experiences? Like how did you come to that
Crazy,
conclusion?
man.
They
Hate
told
this
you?
clown world, man.
I've had a lot of extremely intelligent conversations with a lot of extremely intelligent
new
men.
prop girl can get it, bruh.
Very high level men, and they absolutely,
She's new.
if they're appropriate and they have good intent to be married, to have a wife, to have a family, to have children, etc. Those are the things they care about.
A woman's life experiences. is high on the totem pole.
I can tell based on your line of questioning that you're trying to make a point. So just make the point.
Both.
No, but I mean, again, I'm asking you, do you think that a woman's life experiences are high on the totem pole in terms of what men find attractive or what they value in a partner?
If they, so besides physical attraction, which I think is the
I don't want her to have life
physical
experiences.
Attraction is absolutely the baseline, right?
Okay, is a 25-year-old woman more physically attractive at 25 or at 35?
She's going to say,
sometimes
it depends.
If they've had some work done, they're probably a little bit
depends
better.
on the person.
You're
Blah, blah, blah,
34,
blah.
correct?
I'm 34.
Do you think you're more physically attractive now at 34 than you were at 20?
All right, I'm about to end the stream. I'm just joking. But dang,
we had this conversation.
Like, you
before.
hear
You didn't
this?
see me at 24. You don't know what I look like at 24.
Well, I just know, like,
She's
sort
saying,
of about aging.
You hear this?
Sure, but
you know, the impact it has on you.
She's fighting it to the end. She's aging like milk, and she's fighting it all the way to the end, man. You see her. You see this, right? She's fighting it, bro.
Hooked up. You only had a problem if they were in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
This is a delusional aging woman. You know she's aging and losing value, but is just trying to hold on to her youth as if, like, I'm still 18. I'm still 18. I'm still 18. Got the fucking makeup like fucking Joker. I still look like I'm 18. Don't I look pretty? You know, they're fucking spazzing out and shit like, oh, shit. Yeah, you look 18, bitch. Yeah, you look beautiful. You look beautiful. That's what these simps over here doing.
Is when the older man is trying to like look at this person as like their wife, and this poor girl who's like 21 years old has not even experienced any life in any way, shape, or form.
While I'm over here trolling, that's what they doing, bro. They in the mirror just like that on some Joker shit, like fucking. I still got it. It's goddamn obese trying to put on the goddamn size 5 skirt that they had in the closet that they could fit 15 years ago, trying to put that shit back on, trying to put the heels on in the mirror with the fucking Joker makeup all the way up to their fucking eyeball, spazzing out, saying they don't need a man.
21 years old to somebody who is double or triple her age is creepy.
Good catch, unconventional man. He was the one who caught that.
He said,
no, I heard it.
What question?
Did you notice that? And I was like, man, that's a great catch.
You're awful, bro.
I couldn't believe it.
You're fine with
This is my
that
personal
you could
opinion. I don't need to
possibly
convince you guys.
position?
I don't need to convince you guys. This is just my personal opinion. I think it's icky. I don't even. I'm not even mad at her. I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, go in your own age range. Like, get a little closer. Like, what are you doing?
50-year-old woman?
Okay, but so going back to the question at hand, so you said
Why would you want a
that you're
50-year-old
kind of
woman?
fine with
What
it
the
if
hell?
it's just casual with the age gap. So if it's short term,
it's
you're
their
fine.
business. They're consenting adults. I just find it creepy when now you're like at a restaurant and you look next to you and this guy's gray haired.
When the sawdust settles and the engine finally roars, the thing you care about most is a job well done.
Make her
Hook
shut
up
up.
1, 2, or 3 times, and then that's the extent of it. But you're not okay if the man is
I'm
desirous
not
of a
okay
long
with
term.
that at all on a personal level, but I'm
you-
saying it's their business. I'm saying it's their business. I don't need you to
So
understand this.
isn't
I
it
don't
also
need-
their business
I'm not
if
trying
it's
to
a long
convince
term?
you. I'm not trying to convince you.
That's cool.
I'm just ready to.
But I'm asking for clarification.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So you're fine with it or more fine with it if it's short term, but if the guy is desirous of long term, that's your
I'm
you
saying
have
it's
more
none
of
of
an
my
issue.
business, but you know, like if they're
So
having
wouldn't
sex,
it be
they're
none of your
consenting.
business? Wouldn't that be none of your business if it's a long term?
You asked me my opinion on seeing the news of Tobey Maguire dating someone double his age.
Yes, for the people in here that don't know, Tobey Maguire, old Spider-Man, he's 49 years old with a 20-year-old woman, and people are mad. As you can see, she's mad. So yeah, they're mainly old women that's past their prime. They're pissed.
Okay.
And I did.
So then that would seem to imply that you do have an issue then if it's more long term, if the older man's desirous of having a long term relationship with her. Whereas if he's just like,
See you something, bro.
sees her at the club, wants to fuck,
stopping by.
then that's
piss him off saying her voice
And
is
she's a
annoying.
consenting adult, etc. But where it gets weird for me is like, and this is for all young men and women.
Listen to
they're
this.
gonna go through a few bodies as they're exploring. A lot of people in general, right? Not everyone. Some people don't, but like I think that's
More
normal.
baggage.
That's normal. That's normal. Happens for guys
More
and
baggage.
girls.
So then
Sure.
Brian
Men and
Reynolds,
women aren't the
more-
same.
More life
Stop trying to
experience
compare a
means
woman
more
to a
body
man.
count.
But if you're asking me specifically in that scenario, but I'm just saying I don't think that guy should be like getting married to someone who's triple younger
What if they
than
did
him.
for 5 years and now she's 20, now she's 25?
Yeah,
Too young for Leo.
I'm just done, Brian. I'm done with this topic.
Too old.
You
Sorry,
asked me
too
my
old.
opinion. I don't like it.
My
I don't
bad.
need you. I don't need you.
Yeah, but you said another thing, and now I'm trying to
Okay.
get to the bottom
Brian,
of the thing that you said.
literally, you asked me my opinion. I
Yes,
gave you
but I'm
my
asking-
opinion. I don't
Yeah,
like
you
it.
gave it.
Well,
I
But
don't
now
need
I'm
you
asking
to,
for clarification.
but I don't need you to prove me right or wrong.
I'm
That's
not
just my
trying to prove
opinion.
you right or wrong. I'm asking. You can't even answer the question.
Well,
I'm answering
I
the
understand.
question.
I understand you're trying to give your opinion. You keep saying I'm giving my opinion, but opinions are based on some sort of logical reasoning. Now, all we're trying to, all Brian and Andrew are trying to do is try to
I know
figure
exactly
out
what they're trying to do. They're
what is that
looking for
logical
engagement.
reasoning behind it. Because if there is no logical
She
reasoning
hasn't still
behind
gave
it,
any logic.
maybe your
Well,
opinion
yeah, I'm
should
going to engage in
change.
your opinion. Yeah, that's true. I'm going to engage in your opinion. That's correct. Yes,
Andrew,
you're right.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You don't like
I don't
it
need
when
you
I
to
engage
like
with
it.
your
But why?
No, I'm talking about the dynamic. I
Why
just
don't you like it? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Maybe, like, okay, that's,
Just pass her though.
The age gap.
On,
So-
move on.
Well,
If
hold
it's
on,
around
hold
with
on,
a big
hold on,
kick there
hold on,
long
hold on,
ago.
hold on.
Exactly.
Just to be clear, if I want to talk about this
I'm
for the
not
next
boost
5
certain
hours, we're going to talk about it for the next 5 hours.
You tell me bodies has she been through shit. That's why we trying to get them like that's 18, 19, wherever, like super down there.
Attempting to obfuscate and derail, you could just
There
like.
was no derailing or obfuscating. I'm just saying I'm
Yeah,
done
you could
talking
just like
about
answer
it.
the question.
But I
So-
did.
No,
you
you just
didn't.
kind of say, "I already answered the question."
You
now
never
move
answered.
on.
Okay,
the
Brian,
question
you've
was,
been in a bad mood
the
since
question,
everybody
cool.
showed up.
Yes, I have been in a bad mood.
Yep, and you're
Deal
taking
with
it out on me right
I'm
now.
not taking it out on you.
You
I'm
are.
I would engage with you just like this, regardless. If I had the most smooth pre-show, I would have engaged with you just like this, regardless. So it has
No,
nothing
you'd
to
be
do
a
with
little
the
bit
fact.
nicer.
no, I can attest. Brian
I
do
would
the
engage
exact
with
same
you.
thing.
This is not
I
my
would
first
engage
time
with
here.
you.
This is my
exactly the
ninth
same.
time here.
Yeah,
I'll ask
cool.
one final question, and then I will move it on. So, just as a point of clarification, can you answer? You said you don't object if it's older man, younger woman, and they're just hooking up,
It's their business.
but you do object, older man, younger woman, serious long-term monogamous relationship.
I would look at that older man and I would wonder what is going on with his mental health that he needs to date someone who is young enough
So
to
he's
be his
mentally
daughter.
now. Older men
Sure,
are mentally ill
sure,
for being attracted
sure.
to young adult women.
Yeah, that's
They're
creepy.
it's
creepy.
No, it's a mental illness.
I think so.
You think it's a mental illness for men to be
Maybe.
attracted to like a stacked 21-year-old, like giant
Just-
fucking
well, just-
titties,
just
big
not-
fucking
well,
ass.
I don't need you to
Every
agree.
time a man
Mental
touches a
illness?
woman, he's in a bad mood or
stop.
angry.
I just
It's
don't-
only
Shaming
mental
tactics,
illness if
face
they
bump.
wanna
You hear
date 'em.
this?
It's fine to fuck them.
No, I'm telling you, I don't care.
What
It's
in
just
the
my
hell
opinion.
is
It's my
going
opinion.
on right now?
All right, hang on. Let's lighten the mood. We'll lighten the mood, all right? Like, here's me throwing you a bone. You want to sing the I Just Got the Ick song?
What?
I just got
Please.
the ick. Come on,
It's
you
the
can sing
ick.
it with me.
It is the ick. It's so gross.
It got the ick.
It's so gross. What are you doing
It's
dating
so
your
gross.
grandfather?
I know, it's so gross of that chick to do that.
So
What a
just to be
gross
clear,
chick.
your position is men are mentally ill for desiring
He said,
young adult women.
bruh, I'm in
So, like,
disbelief right
21-year-old
now. She
women.
said
It's
this mental
illness.
illness?
It's like, yeah, why would you want
You
to date
hear
your
the
daughter?
mental illness?
What?
Well, he's
Can
not
I-
dating his daughter.
That's not
You're
his
dating-
daughter.
He's dating.
Not dating.
That's an
Okay.
Asian girl.
I can get. Hold on. Go ahead.
I just want to clarify your position. You originally said mental health, right? You were like, it raises mental health concerns.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And you're using the term mental health illness. Those are two very different things.
What?
You can
No, they're the same.
have
They're the
mental
same,
health
girl.
symptoms.
They're the same.
Okay, so articulate what she's trying to say when she says it's a mental health thing.
We gotta get
Yo, Payo, thank you for the rating.
Women,
man.
like,
Appreciate
women are
it.
doomed, bro.
Thank you, Payo. Okay, so
like y'all hear
what
this?
mental health
They have no
concern is
brain
there
function, dude.
for
Well,
a man
just-
to be attracted to a 21-year-old adult woman?
And
What
when I
is
be
the
snapping on my
mental
videos,
point? I
dudes
was
don't
just asking a
understand, bro. This
clarifying
shit's
question.
real, bro.
That's
Like
all
y'all
I
hear
was doing.
this?
So you're trying to differentiate between mental
Well,
health and mental illness?
I was wondering if you were using the same terminology for mental health and mental illness. It's okay if you
I'm
are.
pretty
Okay,
sure
so
they're
it was
interchangeable.
it was like first of all,
I can't be a podcast
it was
host,
an
man.
off the cuff comment.
I'll
so
be
it's
way
not
worse
that
than mine.
serious,
I'm
number
gonna
one,
be
but
up
number
there, bro.
number two,
I couldn't do it.
I said I would be concerned.
All you hoes
about
get
their
out
mental
right
health.
now.
Why
Every
are they
single
dating
one
someone?
out.
And hear me
I
out for a
can't.
second before you jump in.
I'm
there's a lot of men out there who are dating women sometimes younger or the same age as their daughters.
Oh, okay.
Rage
And
streams
because that's where the daughter comment came in, because you said, well, it's not his daughter.
He said, "This why this man go to prison." Yo, this is disgusting, bro.
I
And I bet all the girls at the table all believe in this shit, dude.
He's 20. I would
Hold
never
on.
date a 20-year-old.
Okay, I actually have a rebuttal to this.
Okay.
So, does...
They said mental illness.
So you're saying that any characteristic which a
older
child
man
possesses, you must not then date a person who possesses the characteristic of your child.
No,
so
I
for
didn't
example,
say that.
if the skin color of your child is white, how dare you date somebody
didn't say
who's
that.
the same skin color
Brian, I didn't
as
say
your
that.
child? Right, but that's the logical.
That's basically an
I
equation.
know that's not what you said. But do you understand how I'm trying to like make a comparison here? You're saying that if there's a trait that your child possesses, it then becomes weird and creepy
I do
if
think
you
it's very
date somebody
creepy.
who possesses
Yeah.
the same trait. So, for example,
No.
if your child has blue eyes, you are then a predator for
Nope,
dating
I didn't
somebody
say that.
who has blue. That's your argument,
No, it's
though.
not. No, it's not.
Dude, do you really think that's what I'm saying? Do you genuinely think that I'm saying that that's what you said?
You literally just said that in your logic, any type of characteristic that person possesses.
Okay,
would
but
then be off
are you
the
saying that I
list.
said? Are you saying that I said that you said it verbatim?
Because you're
Of
saying.
course, I know you didn't say what I just said.
But you're basically elaborating on something and taking it down a road I didn't even. That wasn't even a thought in my mind.
I don't understand this comparison.
He's drawing a parallel comparison, like they're comparable.
Or we could just stay on what I actually said. So, like, I look at you being 21 years old as, oh my God, let me take you under my wing. Let me help you out. Let me
So
take care of you.
But why does she need that?
No,
She look like she needs to be
I
fucked.
think I do agree. Okay,
That's what you do to the generation below you.
Okay,
I
I
will
have a
say
question. I have a
speaking
question.
as a-
Do you think a
That's what it looked like to
30-year-old
me.
man is mentally ill if they
I'll
found
take her
her
under my
physically
wing as
attractive?
well.
There's a less than 10 year age
That's a
difference.
weird question.
Less than
Yeah,
10
Do you
years.
think they're mentally
All there
ill
is
if they
up there
found
is
her
brain
physically
rot.
attractive?
There's a less than 10 years age
I'll
difference.
take you
35.
under my wing. See what we're saying.
I would be concerned. Like, dude, what are you doing with a 21-year-old? Yeah.
I
go fly.
want to go back to your comment about young people
So-
being
Going to planet
sponges.
Vegeta.
I do agree with that. Your prefrontal cortex doesn't start
news.
developing until you're 25.
Okay, so should
it's peer
so
review.
then
There's multiple
people
studies.
So basically, all women in America are just super indoctrinated with whatever they've heard, and they're just all brain rotted, bro. This is like 99% of young women right now, and the older ones. That's right now.
to vote.
They're all brain rotted, bro. Use final flash on there.
I think that given our current political system and how
I'm
one
not
vote,
trying to annihilate her, man.
I think that's a hard one. I think that
Hold on. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Okay, so with your vote, you could elect a representative, a president, congressman, represent whatever it is, who could send us to war, which could lead to a nuclear holocaust. Do you think that that's a bigger issue than being able to have a romantic sexual relationship with a man who's 20 years older than you?
I think that's a very interesting comparison to draw between those
Well,
two
hold on,
issues.
but with your
completely
vote,
separate.
I
with
don't
your
know how
vote,
the
you
conversation
can
got on here.
Yeah.
okay, with your vote, you can empower a representative
but she
who
has
could
to.
send us to war.
That means she
who
deserves a final
that
flash.
Could result in conceivably some sort of catastrophic scenario where there's nuclear war.
Do you think my vote individually would have that much of an impact? One individual
Yes,
vote?
Yes, it
the
does.
elections sometimes
100%.
can come down to just 2,000 or 3,000 votes. Sometimes they can come down to just 20,000 votes. Yes, definitely your vote matters a great deal. So what Brian's ultimate point here is if your prefrontal cortex is not developed until you're 25 and you can't make rational decisions on who you will end up with, only a person with a prefrontal cortex, which is
They're trying to compare war because these women are using the excuse that women at young ages can't think for themselves. That's their logic. So they keep using the war analogy that women can go into the military at 18. So if they can't think for themselves, why are they joining the military? That's why they keep using that analogy to debunk these brain rots.
Cognitive decision to make any wise dating decisions whatsoever. So should people before the age of 25 be dating at all? With
But we're
that
so
logic,
far
no,
from the
because they
actual
can't make
question.
logical decisions
Very
until they
patient,
turn
yeah, I'll get
25.
it.
We're so far from the actual question. You asked me my opinion on what I
DJ
thought
said,
about
here's your
21-year-old,
answer, boom.
but now
Go
we're
to
down
therapy.
like
The whole
voting,
table.
the
No, 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 no,
military.
no, no.
Like,
we're
can we just
making
stick to the
parallel
point?
comparisons.
The topic hang on, the topic shifted off of you because she brought up the prefrontal cortex argument. This is a very common feminist argument.
Yep.
Happens often.
Indoctrinated.
And I'm fine with the argument. I just am only fine with it if we can agree on the entailments of what that means. It's like, if you're saying that a woman's prefrontal cortex is not fully developed till 25, and because of that, she's not making good rational decisions about who she can or can't date, then why would we let her make rational decisions about other things which have impacts? That's
yeah,
the point.
she probably doesn't, like, young people
She
don't
has a
even
voice.
understand what
She
it
has a
means.
voice.
She
She
shouldn't
has
be
a
able
voice.
to
She can
vote.
speak. I
I'm not
promise.
talking about her.
She shouldn't be able to do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about her.
Lock them
I'm
up in
talking
the
about
asylum.
The woman, the girl in this scenario. I'm not talking about her.
I'll let you finish.
No, you go ahead. You're good.
It's okay.
I
No.
wasn't even talking about you.
No, you're all good. I knew
Yeah.
you weren't. You're all good. I think that is an interesting question to pose. I think that it also does come to the fact that I pay taxes currently.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I pay taxes. I work.
Currently.
I have had multiple jobs.
You
I
better
pay
get you.
taxes.
You better get you a good
And
man.
I do think that under a democracy,
You won't
I
have to
do
pay
think
taxes.
that my vote, I do think I kind of, even if my prefrontal cortex hasn't developed fully,
Oh my God.
15 and 16-year-olds pay taxes.
I'm not 15.
I know, but 15 and 16-year-olds pay taxes, so that would mean that by the entailment of that, 15 and
I think
16-year-olds
we
should
should
be
just
able
go
to
back to
vote.
the question,
Right?
the original question.
What?
What? Yeah.
I said I really just think we should all just go back to
Who
the
are
original
you?
question.
You ain't
Yeah,
the
I know,
podcast
but-
host. Who are
but
you?
why- I'm sorry. I know that the attention's not 100% focused on you
Exactly,
right this
who are
second, but
you?
we're having a conversation with somebody else because I'm curious about
Who do these hosts
the
think
worldview
they
here as
are,
well.
bruh?
If you say, "Oh, I pay taxes, so I should
We
be
gotta
able to
get
vote,"
control
okay,
back over
that makes
this
sense.
planet, bro. These hoes
But
out of
then
control,
that would apply
bro.
to
I
all
hate
taxpayers,
these
which would
hoes,
include
man. Y'all see
14,
this
15,
shit? Like, I
16-year-olds that
can't
have part-time
tolerate
jobs.
this
They pay
shit, bro.
taxes. Should they be able to vote?
They all do this shit, man. I can't
What's the
do
question
this
for you?
shit, bro. I can't deal with these hoes, man. Like,
I know
they
I'm
piss me off,
taking a moment
bro.
to think.
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
This, you ain't gonna be thinking nothing. There's nothing to think because you don't have nothing up there. Just go ahead and say next.
I personally don't think that I would be able to give an answer on that right now. I don't know. I think that I'd have to think about it longer. And I think that we should move on to the next
for you.
person and keep discussing. I was simply just trying to add on that I agreed with one of your earlier points, and I respect your opinion.
Crazy
I was
how
only
I
trying
just
to do that,
guessed.
and that has led us down
Just
a
next.
million gajillion rabbit holes, and I think that
Crazy.
we should continue moving around.
Do you want? So, are you just conceding the point then?
Well,
Yeah.
there's no point to concede to. You asked me my opinion. I gave you my opinion. And you guys, like vultures, are like, hold on, let's talk about the military and voting and all these other things. I just said it gave me the ick. I don't like it. And I don't need you to agree or disagree.
There's no vultures, bro.
Well, I think the
What
whole.
do you mean? What do you mean, like vultures?
Exactly. Like what?
You've just been asking
You and I
questions.
have
what
done
the
this
hell?
before. You and I have done this before.
These women are just like awful.
Oh,
bro.
you mean when I was in a room
They're
where
disgusting,
I was outnumbered
bro.
9-1?
You're not
Oh,
outnumbered
did I
ever.
traumatize you in a room where I
Disgusting,
was
bro.
outnumbered
You never
9-1?
traumatized me.
Really? Are you serious?
Andrew,
You're not
you
outnumbered.
don't- you're not outnumbered.
Did that mean you outnumbered 9-1 and I was the vulture? Like what?
No, I didn't
The
say
language
that.
and the
you weren't
shaming
outnumbered at
tactics
all.
and how
There was
they
like
just
5
try
guys
to
on that
word
show.
and manipulate shit.
No, there
bro.
wasn't.
Yeah, there
there was
was.
the host,
Crazy,
and the host
EJ.
stayed silent
Brother
for the
Ick.
entirety of the show except Sartain, who moved it
There was
on.
5
And it
guys
was
on
me
that
and
show.
one other guest. It was me and one other guest.
Women are mentally ill. Like straight up, most of the women in America, well, I think most of the people in America are mentally ill, but these women are very mentally ill, and we have a huge mental illness. You're really watching mental illness at a high level right now. You watching narcissism and egotism and brain rot and a whole bunch of other stuff mixed in one pot up there that has been replaced as a brain.
Now I'm trying to reel it all out.
You had a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot at once.
Okay, he's 49, she's 20. Your thoughts?
I believe it's anybody's opinion against their own because I have been and I have known people in age gap relationships or casualties to where I'm like, I know one couple that is still together to this day, I believe she's 18 and he's 40. And they've been together for, I think it's 20. I might have the age difference.
They met.
But they met
when she was 18.
Yes.
And he was 40. Okay. She's about to say that together for fun.
That was highly.
I think we can all agree we object to that.
It's a consensual relationship. I have been to their place to where I'm like, they pretty much act like an old married couple.
So when they met, she was 18 and he was 40.
Yes.
Okay. But in terms of...
Reality Check donated $200. So, Bimbo Lady basically called all men mentally ill. Congratulations. Now all your potential partners are mentally ill. Have fun with that.
It's actually true because most men are attracted to young adult
want
women.
a young girl, bro, so we're all mentally ill. I'm mentally ill, I guess.
What happened just the women?
Because I don't want no old, washed up
that's
Will.
fine.
Just let me clarify again. First of all, I did not say
Old saggy
that
Will
if
in
they're
her case.
attracted to
With
younger women
fucked
is a
up
problem.
surgery.
I said if they're pursuing someone
Wrinkly
the same
skin.
age as their daughter, that's weird. That's weird, and I would
so
be
what
concerned.
if they... Let me ask you a question. Let's say there's a 50-year-old man with a daughter and a 50-year-old man without a daughter. Is there any differentiation there?
No, I feel like that generational.
But they're the same age.
No,
I don't
I think
understand.
like a 20-year gap is so
No, answer the
massive.
question. Answer the question.
Okay, what is your question? What's the actual question?
A 50-year-old man
Yeah.
without a daughter
Yeah.
and a 50-year-old man with a daughter. They're the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Do you object to them both?
Yes.
But he doesn't have a daughter.
I'm
So
I'm
it
saying
could
that
be
large
the
of an
daughter's
age gap.
But it could be the daughter's age.
That large of an age gap is gross to me. It's gross. And going back to the mentally ill thing, I don't need you to agree with me. I don't need you to agree with me.
We're not going to agree
Okay, so
with
it's
you.
I don't need
mental.
you to
It's a
agree with
mental
me.
illness, though, for men to be attracted to like a 21-year-old.
Not to be attracted, but why are you
To date. Okay,
why are
fine,
you
to date.
dating her? Why are you dating her? Yeah, absolutely.
My
I think it's weird.
last follow-up that I
think
have
it's
on
weird.
this, and then I agree, we've kind of beaten the dead horse,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's
But
weird.
My last follow-up, would you ever accept from me the argument that I do not condone LGBTQ because I find it to be gross? Would you ever say that that's okay?
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. So like, if you
Yeah, you wouldn't question my opinion, though. If I wanted to vote to legislate it or things like that, then would you oppose it?
It's not
then
my.
would I have to
it's
have
your
justifications
vote.
for it?
It's your vote. You can do whatever you want with your vote.
So you wouldn't even question it. You would
the
just say no
question
problem.
is
It's
if
just
I
your
have
opinion.
a problem with it or not. I have a problem with it.
So
I think
what
it's
if
weird.
somebody said that they didn't like other races
this is
because
crazy,
they find
bro.
it icky? Would you
She's
say
mentally
anything about
ill,
their
bro.
opinion then?
Again, I'm talking about my opinion here. I'm talking about my opinion.
So you have no opinions about anybody else's opinions, even if you disagree with them?
I didn't say I had an issue with them being attracted to younger women. I said I have an issue with them pursuing the younger women.
You don't really
Yeah, I
answer
know, because it
questions.
gives you the ick.
Okay.
But if the argument is just it's
Ask
the
your
ick,
question, Brian, because I just did.
but if the argument is just it gives you the ick, then I don't know. Couldn't I use that
You know, I'm
argument
watching this
for
on my
basically
VR. This is
any
out of
form
control.
discrimination I could ever
Sure.
think of?
Sure.
And would you have anything to say about that, or would you just be like, oh, that's fine, it's your opinion?
Well, I didn't come to argue, first and foremost. I didn't come to argue
Y'all
or
talking.
debate.
You didn't come on to
I just
an
came to talk
adversarial
about
dating show to
dating
argue?
topics. I did not come to argue, so that's why I'm saying we should.
Well, did you just come to monologue?
I came to have a conversation, not to argue.
That's what we're
It
doing.
sounds like y'all
Now.
having a
Conversations
conversation.
become
No, we're not.
adversarial.
No, we're not. When you guys are laughing, rolling your eyes, like making statements and comments that
Hey,
basically try to
what are you
invalidate
guys doing?
my opinion and things like that.
Wait, hang on. Yes, it's okay for me to make arguments that invalidate your opinion if I disagree with it, one. And two, you think that we have a monopoly on eye rolling in this conversation? Really?
If you're having just like a regular conversation, there's a respect level where you're exchanging ideas, but that's not what's happening here. That's
What
not
is
what's
happening
happening here. It's like 3-4 people at a time jumping in to like basically invalidate that person's opinion.
Yeah, what if their opinion's wrong and you wanted it invalidated? Like, for instance, if you were a racist who just said, I don't like X race because I find it icky, what would be wrong with 4 of us jumping in and going back and forth with that person one at
These
a
are
time
two
in order to
complete-
invalidate a bad opinion?
They're two completely different topics.
No,
Like-
the logic is
Yeah,
exactly
so
the
It's
same. If
not
somebody
the
thinks
same.
the justification
It's not
of
the
ick,
same.
They're different
do you know what
topics, but the logic is the
justification
same.
of ick is ick.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyways, did you give an answer?
Yes.
Did we
I'm
get an
gonna-
answer?
Yes.
What was it?
I think it's to each their own.
I'm on
as long as
VR.
they're
I don't have any
consenting
type of VR.
adults.
Okay, so no issues with Tobey Maguire, 49, dating 20-year-old Lily.
No.
Okay, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think that's weird or anything like that. I mean,
Okay, you're fine with it.
My girls.
I don't care. They're adults. They want to do
Wait,
it.
can you just scoot your mic to the edge of the
Sorry.
table?
They're adults. They can do what they want to do. She's 21. Apparently, it's adult.
Yeah, let's go.
You should probably scoot your chair in. So.
Let's go. I won them 18.
no problem with it.
Yeah.
I could not care less. Women tend to mature quicker than men, anyways. I would not date anybody my age.
Let's go.
Did you guys just show of hands? Just show.
What about their Abdullah oblongata? I mean, their prefrontal cortex, though. Did you ever think about that? What about their frontal cortex? Never even thought about that, did you? You just thought, well, they mature faster.
See,
so
that's
it's fine.
not having a conversation, Brian. That's where now you're
That
being
was
a
me
dick to
making
her.
a joke, and you see how
It's
she
not a
laughed.
joke.
I know that you're allergic to laughter
not a
and having
joke.
any sort of a good time, but you know, it
She
was
is
really
That's where you're
insufferable.
like being disrespectful.
What is wrong
that
with
was
this
the opposite
woman?
of disrespect. I was making fun of you by laughing
She
with
is
her.
done,
That's
bruh.
not disrespectful.
She'll never find true
Yeah.
love, man. She is so
Okay.
insufferable.
Do you have any further thoughts on the
Yeah, no,
Tobey Maguire?
I think there are other reasons
my
besides mental illness that a man would be interested in dating someone
Mental
who's younger.
illness.
My roommate and I discuss this topic regularly, where we don't want to date someone who's over the age of like 30, 31, 32.
Hell no.
Because one, they all have all of this extra life baggage. Like, why are
I'm
you?
good.
Why have you matured now? What took you so long in your life to be like, okay, now I'm going to start
Now,
considering marriage
exactly.
specifically. Two, I'm wondering,
How many dicks
am I
have
going to
you
be able
been
to actually
on?
have a family with you? I know women have a clock and it's
Good, bro.
ticking. I want to have a bunch of kids. I want to have a large family. That's really important to me. I don't want to spend the first 5 to 10 years of my marriage deprogramming all of that emotional baggage, all of that trauma, all of that, whatever word you want to use, whatever
I'm listening to this and doing
buzzword.
it. Yeah, this is
I
wild.
don't want to have to spend all that time doing that at the same time as trying to raise a family, maybe having your emotional trauma baggage poured into the kids, into those impressionable minds. I don't want to have to deal with that. So I understand why a man, any age, whether that's 49, whether that's 20, would want to date a woman who's a little younger. It makes sense. And there are other reasons besides mental illness that they would want to do so.
Okay.
Yeah, it ain't mental
Do you want to
illness.
walk back the mental illness thing, or you're
No,
pretty
she's gonna
confident?
stand
I
on it.
said that I'd be wondering what's going on with them mentally, that they would be attracted to someone 20 years their
No,
junior.
you said it was mental illness.
So no, I'm not
So
walking
it is
back.
attracted. Because before
To-
you said
to
dated,
date, to, like, to be with,
but you
to-
just
yeah,
said
today. Sure.
if they're attracted.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
just
like,
by virtue of being attracted to a 21-year-old woman,
It's both now.
listen,
mental
I'll
illness.
go in a little bit further here, okay? When I have conversations with people that are 20 years younger than me, or let's say, you know, just to keep it like at 20, right? Sorry, what?
Nothing.
I'm looking at them as like, they're immature, they're not experienced in any way, shape, or form. They're vulnerable, they're impressionable, right? Their eyes wide open, deer in the headlight, right? To me, if a man is 20 years older, and by the way, somebody said in here that chat right there, like 30. 30 is appropriate. But I'm talking about early 20s, they're barely out of high school. And if you're gonna consider like one, being with them, having a relationship with them, settling down with them, etc., like you're preying on them. It's like they're not even on the same level as you. Like, what do you
Preying.
have in common with someone 20 years your
What
junior?
the
They
fuck?
probably can't even name a pop artist from your
really, you
generation.
think, okay, there's a whole lot there. You said
Sure.
pray. You mentioned the
Yeah.
commonality thing.
Yeah.
Okay, what in general do men and women have in common to begin with?
So much.
That,
It don't even matter.
That would be sufficient enough to just on the basis of having a commonality would be like, I'm wanting to date this person just on the basis of us having shit in common. Said no one ever.
That's not true, Brian.
Said
That's
no one
literally
ever.
not true.
Bro,
Literally-
have you
that's
ever
literally
known a
not
guy?
true.
Have you ever known a guy who you had the most in common with, but you didn't end up dating them?
Yes.
I mean, I have friends that I have a lot in common with
But
that we
you're
didn't date
not-
because there's chemistry and
Right.
sexual attraction that would be
it's
needed
clear,
as well.
but would you agree it's clear then that having commonalities is not high in the totem pole of
No, I disagree.
what matters.
I disagree. I disagree.
You mentioned pop artists. I don't give a fuck what kind of music a girl listens to. And if she's dating me long enough, she's gonna like my shit.
That's so weird that you would like suggest that she would have to like your shit. Like,
But
she
That's
has
not
her
what
own
I
stuff.
said.
But she will.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, I
She'll like it
just
eventually.
disagree. I just think a
Right.
20-year age gap.
that,
I just think a
though.
20-year age gap is wild.
Right, but you said
like,
pop
why?
artists.
I brought it up as like an example.
Okay,
like
fine.
it's just a random example.
So then cultural touchstones. Oh, we watch the same shows. We both listen to the same music.
Like the same.
I don't care.
I think having things
Don't
in common.
care.
Well, if all you care about is your sexual attraction,
No,
period, and that's where you end
that's
it.
not even
Okay, I
it.
just want to clarify. I just want to clarify
But
because we're talking
just to
about things you have
clarify,
in common.
I think liking the same music is far more superficial than what you're trying to suggest here by there's the sexual component. Who your favorite pop artist is,
This is out of
same
control.
music.
It's just one example of having something in common
Okay,
with
what are some
someone.
things in common that would warrant me to date somebody?
I think you should have a lot of things in common. I think you should enjoy doing the same things, going to the same places, hanging out with the same people.
Okay, I don't
That's
like
not-
the
that's not
The
age
only thing
restrictive,
really
though.
is like morals and maybe.
Right, but
Okay,
morals
but you have to
maybe.
have the same
and
all
then-
of those-
If you're-
Well, no,
if you-
I'm not disagreeing or agreeing with either, but I'm saying as far as agreements, the only thing I could see that would make sense to me personally would be maybe morals. Religious type. If you're a religious
He
person,
said this girl had her
maybe
hair pulled too
religion-based.
far down back.
But there's
Hair
nothing,
he said a
having
blood
good morals
restriction to
and
the brain.
having
Well, no,
hold
no.
on, let me finish.
Exactly.
Hold on, let me finish. Having good morals and having a religious worldview, you could be 21
No, 100%.
and be involved
100%.
in your faith.
No.
You could be 45 and be an atheist.
100%. I'm just saying that's the only thing as far as
You're
if
not-
you
you're
want.
not speaking into the
I'm just
mic.
saying as
You-
far as being agreeable or having things in common. That's the only thing I could see as far as being justifiable of wanting to have those things agreeable, being in the same things in alignment as far as morals and
Right, but you can have-
religion.
okay, you
but I'm
can
not
have
saying
that.
you have to be
Yep,
the same
you
age.
can have that in any
no,
age.
yeah, I'm not
So,
saying that it
again,
has to be an age
make an
thing.
argument for the commonality component here.
But don't you want to date people that they're going to teach you something?
No.
Men don't. I mean,
I
not
don't wanna
teach.
be taught.
Not teach you something, but like, not teach you something. Not teach you something. I guess that was the right word. That wasn't
Teach
the
me
right
what?
word.
Okay,
That wasn't
fine.
the right
Okay,
word.
go ahead.
So
All right.
like, you like that kind of music because that's what she brought up. You like that kind of music. I like this kind. I've never heard that. Sure, let me hear it. You want to do that? Sure. It's a commonality. It doesn't have to be.
I don't think it's a commonality though. I think it's
Where
more
did
of just being in agreement with sharing.
Why do opposites attract though? Why is that a thing? Like there's some people have something and then the other person completes that, and that turns into a match.
Wait, so just to be clear, so commonality, that's super important.
I think it's important.
Having things in common.
I think so.
I don't think it's
Really?
important.
Okay.
No, I don't think
You
it's
think
important.
you think for either men or women, people are looking at like, oh, we have so much in common. If that were the case, you would be. If commonality was really up there, wouldn't people sort for that?
So, first of all, when you ask me these questions, like the whole like smug, like I know better, I know that, like I already
You
disagree with
said
you, but you're
pop-
asking
you
just
said
to make
pop
a
star.
Okay,
And
let's
now
let's
you
not.
hold on.
How
I'm
did
gonna-
I know I go to a Taylor
Wait,
Swift
hold on. I'm
concert?
gonna.
Let me see real quick. Excuse me. Let's see. Yeah, I was watching a little bit of coverage on the hurricane barrel.
Well, producing some strong winds. But I think that as far as severe weather goes, especially as the evening progresses, our focus is really going to kind of hone in down here.
I'd rather know more about this
in
and hear
southeastern
some
Texas. This is
dumb
what
women talk.
Tropical Storm Barrel looks like on satellite right now. It looks like it has a really unique presentation on satellite. It looks like obviously all hurricanes and all tropical cyclones like this spin.
It's spinning
But this one
counterclockwise.
has I don't know. It looks like a galaxy. It looks like you're looking at a spinning galaxy because of the way that it's oriented. You know what I'm saying?
It's spinning
So it's got
counterclockwise.
a really unique presentation to it. It's slow moving, and that core of the storm is still over very warm waters in the Gulf of Mexico, and that's why we believe that it's going to intensify quite a bit over the next little bit. You can see how over the last, a couple of hours, we've had a couple of pretty decent explosions near the center of the storm. And these explosions are obviously, just big updrafts, big storms forming.
Oh, shit.
And it's those kinds of convective, activities that lead to the strengthening of a storm. Now, a lot of times it takes a long time for that to organize, but sometimes it happens really fast, and that's what we call rapid intensification. Whether it's rapid or not, intensification is happening, and it's something that we've got to be concerned about. Once again, if we are in El Campo, Lake Jackson, Jones Creek, Freeport, over here towards Bay, Treasure Island, Galveston even. I think that you guys are going to probably anywhere between Lake Jackson and Galveston, near
20,
Treasure
almost
Island,
30,000
maybe back towards Highway 457, maybe back down towards the Matagorda Bay. I think that you guys are going to get the brunt of the the significant winds and the storm surge that'll be associated with this. So once again, this is forecast to be a Category 1 hurricane with wind speeds around 85 miles per hour, 2 a.m. At 2 a.m. Right now it's 10:25 Eastern.
85 miles per hour still ain't no joke.
Maybe producing gusts over 100 miles per hour. Maybe an hour, maybe 2, maybe even 3 hours after that, it's going to make landfall somewhere between Lake Jackson and Port Lavaca. And it'll probably have slightly stronger winds at that point. This might be a 90-mile-per-hour hurricane, might even be higher than that when it makes landfall. And then it's going to go right on up towards the western side of Houston. Now, of course, whenever the central area of circulation makes it over land, it's going to start rapidly de-intensifying. But that we're just talking about the core of the storm there. The outer bands are going to continue to pose a really not incredible, but a really significant threat for isolated tornadoes, extreme, maybe even some excessive rainfall, and flash flooding is going to be a huge problem with this. So that's something that we're going to be tracking well into eastern portions of Texas. And speaking of the tornado threat, kind of expanding farther inland, let me show you some of the outlooks, the Storm Prediction Center outlooks here. So today, we've got a slight risk of severe weather, obviously. A couple different areas highlighted here from the Storm Prediction Center. 5% tornado risk is kind of, reserved for the extreme southeastern portions of Texas. But let me show you the day 2. This is, starting late to, tonight or early tomorrow morning, however you want to say it. But the entire mid-Mississippi River Valley, all the way down into eastern portions of Texas and western portions of
like someone
Louisiana,
said,
are
ain't that
under
crazy? Someone said that's the same path, almost like a very close path that the eclipse took. Very close.
Tornado happening within 25 miles of any given point there. We've also got a strong, maybe damaging wind risk that's going to go all the way up towards the the southwestern portion of the Ohio River Valley as well. Hail risks over there in Texas. So severe weather is going to be possible for a couple, millions of people, honestly, well inland as a result of this hurricane. As we go into the day 2, even day 3, marginal risk over here in Kentucky, Tennessee, a little bit of Ohio, as the remnants of this storm will continue to cause problems at that point as well. So let's go back over here, and we'll turn. We're going to see a lot of this tonight. Spinning, rotating radar imagery, and every frame. This thing does look a little bit more organized. We can see here that this is definitely not a major hurricane. But this definitely looks like a storm that is intensifying. We can see the organization. We can see it kind of clearing out in the middle there a little bit. You can see some of those thunderstorms getting stronger right around the central area of circulation. And most importantly, at least in the near term, you can see how these outer bands are really starting to look pretty gnarly here as they approach places like Lake Jackson, which is where storm chaser Brad Arnold is right now. His camera's not on, or we would have him up, but we'll be talking to him later today. He's in that region right there specifically to try to intercept some tropical tornadoes that are going to be very possible, especially as this band right here starts moving over land. I want to see here if we can. Oh my gosh, it's been so long I forgot what buttons to push. I literally forgot how to switch to velocity. Okay, there we go. I figured it out. We're going to be looking for areas of rotation along that band here. And I think that we will see that as these storms come onto shore here. Once again, between Bay City and Lake Jackson. So we're watching that very closely. A huge shout out to Bad Bites. Also, huge shout out to Patty. And the Sublime Monk.
The music industry.
Thank you guys for being here and for the
because not everyone is that watches me is well versed on hip hop, which understandably so. It is a degenerative genre.
Oh, are we experiencing static again? Oh no. That doesn't make any sense, but it does kind of. Is it the same? It's the same exact thing as we were dealing with last time, right?
Yeah, there is a static noise.
Is it really bad?
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Oh, you can just tell when it cuts out. Yeah, we might have to deal with it today. So one of the things that we've been working on in between, the last live stream and now is, obviously we're always like working on upgrades to the setup and stuff. It just takes us a long time to get them implemented because A lot of stuff that we're doing here is not, there's not like a rule book or a guidebook for it. And one of the things that we're working on is it is audio related. So we might have crossed the wrong wire there in one of our experiments. And we didn't catch the static, which, you know, is weird because this is the same microphone I record all my videos with, and we haven't had any static in the videos, so I apologize for that, but we'll get through. We'll make it through.
About, let me see here. Let me see if it's on here. Let's see here.
Crisano, thanks for being here for 30 months.
One day after filing a lawsuit, the parties announced that they had reached an agreement to resolve the case and did not disclose the terms of the out-of-court settlement.
And the light.
In May 2024, CNN obtained and published a video of Combs grabbing